living a much more primitive life up here, but their desire to be true to the principles of God's word was greater than their love of ease. This cave is a quiet place, not grand with gold and marble, and yet here on countless occasions, the presence of God would have been witnessed and felt as he encouraged his people to be true and firm to him in their faith and worship. The Waldensians had a passion for mission service. They were not content to live happy and holy lives, isolated as hermits in the mountains, but they intentionally trained others to go out. Using schools like this one, the College of the Barbs, they taught the Bible, they copied the Bible by hand, and they prepared to go out as undercover agents for God. They sent students to the leading universities in Europe, and they also traveled as merchants to the major cities in Europe. They did not take a copy of the whole Bible, but sometimes it was just a few pages hidden between the pieces of cloth on their cloak. And when they found someone who was a seeker for truth, they would take it out and share it with them. They had passion, ingenuity, and a desire to see the gospel spread beyond the boundaries of the valleys and mountains they lived in. May we have that same passion today. The Waldensians are one of the most persecuted and yet faithful groups throughout European history. On the 24th of April, 1655, they suffered perhaps their worst slaughter as a massacre led by the Duke of Savoy started at 4 a.m. on a Saturday morning. Men, women, children, and babies were mercilessly tortured and killed in the most gruesome ways imaginable. They came to this spot right here and were hurled over the edge to their death on the rocks below. I believe that on the resurrection morning, many faithful believers will rise to glory from the bottom of this mountain and in this valley. This is the reference in Milton's famous sonnet to the bloody Piedmontese that hurled mother and infant down the rocks. Survivors of the massacre were few, but they rallied together and wrote to Christians throughout Europe for help. Their letters included the heart-rending words, "Our tears are no longer of water, they are of blood. They do not merely obscure our sight, but choke our very heart." When Oliver Cromwell, Lord Protector of England, heard of the massacre, he called for a national day of fasting and collected money to send to meet the physical needs of the Waldensians.